What's going on, y'all? I decided I'm gonna do some video work in the car whenever it's a sensitive subject, because sometimes I get too fired up, it's sensitive, and I hurt people's feelings. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about how impactful coaches, parents, and teachers are. And in my opinion, coaches, parents, and teachers are the most impactful people in the world. They touch the kiddos more than anybody in the world. And so I want us to be mindful of what we say to them, about them, and around them, so they can put themselves in the best position to be successful. So if you believe that the mind is super powerful, most powerful part of our body, and you believe that the information that goes into our mind is so powerful, then we have to address how we're speaking about and to our kiddos and around our kiddos. What I mean by that, and this is a very specific, it's specific to a group of people. It's not specific, I can't even say the word right now. It's not specific to a individual, right? So I work with some people, and I have for years, where I've been using a very specific terminology. I'm going to use it today, but I'm not talking about those people individually. I'm talking about the group and how we start sending our messaging better to impact the brain. So there's a group of kiddos out there that have ADD, right? And everybody will say, well, he's got ADD, he has problems focusing. It's just not true. It is completely inaccurate. Children with ADD do not have issues focusing the majority of the time. What they have is a directional focus problem. So what I mean by that is, I don't know a kiddo who has ADD who doesn't have a great time playing Xbox and focusing on Xbox or PlayStation for hours on end. Completely can focus. I don't know a child who has ADD that I've worked with who hasn't been able to pick out one specific thing and comment about it ad nauseum, which means focusing on it until I'm about to throw up, and just talk about it on and on and on. And it would be like, my shoe doesn't feel tight. Hey, you know what? My shoe just doesn't feel tight. I mean, my right shoe, it just doesn't feel tight. It just doesn't. And next thing you know, we spent 20 minutes discussing how our right shoe doesn't feel tight. And that's pretty good focus. Like, if you can do that, you're pretty darn focused, right? Rather than tying our shoe and getting back on the task at hand. So what I tell these guys all the time is this: kids who have ADD have unbelievable focus, but they don't focus on the right things. Our job as adults is to reiterate the fact, hey, you have unbelievable focus. Now, why don't we focus on things that are constructive? What are our cues to when we're focusing on things that aren't really working? How do we see those cues and adjust back to where it is? And I have some really good examples where kiddos will say to me, hey, you know what? I don't even remember what I was saying right there. What do we need to get back to? And I'm like, oh man, he brought it back. He may not remember what it is, but he did bring it back, and he needs credit for that. And when they get credit for that, and they start getting reinforced in a positive way, they get confidence. Our kiddos don't have confidence or don't have focus issues. They have unbelievable focus. They can focus on Twitter, they can focus on Instagram, they can focus on Snapchat, they can focus on TikTok, they can focus on Xbox. You know what else that means? That means they can focus on homework. That means they can focus on family time. That means they can focus on morals. That means they can focus on respect. That means they can focus on maturity. That means they can focus on hitting. That means they can focus on backside drive. That means they can focus on tilt. That means they can focus on everything we want them to focus on. That means they can focus on their spiritual life. They can focus on everything. The reason they don't is because we don't allow them. We tell them they don't have the ability. We tell other people within their earshot they don't have the ability. We make sure that they know they don't have the ability. And I know people don't do that intentionally. It's an unintentional behavior. You have to change that behavior. You have to start being mindful about saying, oh, I heard the doctor say these kids don't have focus, but I know my son or daughter has focus. And I need to start helping them direct that focus. And the number one person to help them direct that focus is their teacher. If you can get them on board, teachers, please get on board. And their coach, whether that be private or their team coach, of saying, hey, it's going to be some times where she focuses on some other things. What I'd like for you to do is help them refocus. When they're really going hard on the things that aren't really to what we're doing, please remind them, hey, you're focusing awesome right now. They stop saying I have bad focus. They know they have a strong focus. A word that we wouldn't want to use is an obsession with something, right? Let's get obsessing on things that make them successful, not on things that bring them down. Focus on time management. Obsess on time management. Focus on responsibility. Obsess on responsibility. Focus on maturity. Obsess on maturity. Our kiddos have unbelievable focus. So let's get this game where we tell them they can't focus and we tell everybody else they can't focus, and let's be honest with them and say, hey, you're not quite focused on the right things. Let's get focused on the right things, and when you do, you're going to be unbelievable, unstoppable, immovable. It's going to be unreal. Immovable might be the wrong word. But anyway, you get me. One day